Okay, so we graphed that one. That one was really simple to graph because, go up here, being a straight line like that, really I needed 3 points on there to graph it well. Sometimes it's a little more difficult not only to graph it, but just to figure out what shape it's going to be. Let me give you an example of that. Let's say I have the equation y equals x squared plus 2x minus 8. So I'm going to give you some values for x and have you figure out what y has to be. And let's see, negative, why not? Let's do negative 3, negative 1, 0, 1, and 3 again. I'm going to have you guys in your notes figure out what x has to be. I'll do the first one with you, or what y has to be. I'll do the first one with you. So you're going to put the negative 3 for x in for x in the expression here. So x squared becomes negative 3 squared. Remember, when you put that in your calculator, you do have to use the parentheses, or it doesn't square it, right? Plus 2 times negative 3 minus 8. Well, negative 3 squared is 9. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. 9 and negative 6 is 3 minus 8 is a negative 5. So when x is negative 3, y is negative 5. So I'll have you guys fill in the numbers then for negative 1, 0, and 1 and 3. Okay, so if x is negative 1, y is negative 1 squared plus 2 times negative 1 minus 8. What's that come out to be? Negative 9. If x is 0, y is 0 squared plus 2 times 0 minus 8, which is 0 squared is 0. 2 times 0? 0. So 0 plus 0? 0 minus 8 is negative 8. If x is 1, we got 1 squared plus 2 times 1 minus 8. What's that turn out to be? Negative 5. Very good. And then 3 squared plus 2 times 3 minus 8. 7. 3 squared is 9. 2 times 3 is 6. 9 plus 6 is 15. Minus 8 is 7. So let's put those points out there. This is x is negative 3 when y is negative 5. So let's do that one. Negative 3, negative 5. Right there. This one here, x is negative 1 when y is negative 9. Negative 1, negative 9 is going to be right there. This one here, x is 0 and y is negative 8. So 0 and negative 8 is going to be right there. X is 1, y is negative 5. Right there. And x is 3 makes y 7. Up there. Well, we definitely know it's not a straight line. But we haven't really plotted enough points to figure out exactly what shape it is. But what we can do is we can use the points we have on here to decide where we need more information. If we had maybe a point in here somewhere, which would be what, like x equals negative 2, and maybe another point out here, like at x equals negative 4, and maybe, I don't know, one here at x equals 2. That would help us figure out what this looks like, wouldn't it? So let's do that. We've got negative 4, negative 2, oops, that's That's maybe not the tool I wanted. So -4, -2, and then +2. Let's find the x values that correspond with those. So if x is -4, we've got -4 squared is 16. 2 times -4 is -8. 16 minus 8 is 8, minus another 8 is 0. So it's x is -4, y is 0. So that'd be a point right there. If x is -2, we got -2 squared is 4. 2 times -2 is -4, so 4 and -4 is 0. Minus 8 is -8. So when x is -2, y is -8. So -2, -8 is right there. Actually got a pretty good idea of what it's going to look like already. If x is 2, we got 2 squared is 4, plus 2 times 2 is 4. 4 plus 4 is 8, minus 8 is 0. So this is 2, 0. Right here. Whoops. Put that in the wrong spot. That was 1, 0, not 2, 0. 2, 0 would be right here. Oops. We get kind of a U-shaped graph. It's called a parabola. You don't necessarily need to know that word, but it is a shape that we see a lot in our graphs. So this is a skill that takes a little time to get good at, of picking out values, putting in values, and generally you just pick random values. The reason I do -3, -1, 0, and 3 is kind of gives me values kind of scattered across the graph. -3, -1, 0, 1, and 3. Kind of spreads it out so I get a decent picture of the graph, figure out where I need more information and where I don't. I always use 0 just because 0, as you can tell, tends to be a pretty easy point to put in. And the 1s and -1s are usually fairly easy to use as well. Got to get a little bit out from the center. So what I want to do now for the rest of the night is I'm going to have you guys practice graphing. I've got a worksheet for those of you guys here. For you in your Richmond, it's on Blackboard. I don't know if you noticed. I did send out an email announcement saying that that worksheet was there for you. If you can grab that and work on it. What I want you to do is work with other people in class. Unfortunately, only you showed up in New Richmond tonight. But maybe what we'll do is we'll do a couple of them and we'll discuss them here as a group here so that we can give you a little discussion over there too. But I will hand out, I'm going to pause the recording here and I will hand out the worksheet here in Rice Lake. If you can pull it up on your computer there in New Richmond, or if you have to go somewhere to print it off quick, feel free. It is in Blackboard if you're looking for it. It's not there. Yeah, if you want to work on it and bring it with next Thursday, that's fine. Since you don't have anybody to really work with there, that's... I was going to say, we had like 8 people there at the beginning of the semester.
Yeah, I know, it's pretty much just me. It's too hard on everyone.
Am I that scary?
I don't think so.
I try not to be. So you can see here, it's in the... I spelled it wrong. That's a math guy for you. It's below where your recordings would be. The worksheet is there linked. So you can get it there. Okay, I'll pass it out here and we'll work on a few. Let's take a look at these first couple and see how they're going. So for the first one, let's see, y equals 3 times -2. You get a line that looks something like that. Cool. For the second one, Your line looks something like that? Any questions so far? For the third one, you curve something like that. For the fourth one, get something like that. Now I'm going to point something out on the fourth one. Notice all of these so far, I have put arrows on both ends of them. Even this one. This one I did not. I put a dot here and an arrow here. Why would I just put a dot there? Well, if x got any smaller than -6, let's say x were -7. If I put in -7, what's -7 plus 6? -1. What's the square root of -1? Calculator won't do it. Well, you can't take the square root of a negative number. So if x is anything smaller than -6, I'd be taking the square root of a negative number. So x cannot be smaller than -6. How many of you got to the back side of the page? Not yet? Okay, so here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you guys work on the back side of the page for Thursday. There is, however, still a new quiz that is due tomorrow, Wednesday, at the usual time. And there will be a new homework along with the worksheet for Thursday. We'll talk more about graphing on Thursday. We'll talk about how to do shortcuts for graphing lines. And we'll go from there.